Now let's talk about how we factorize quadratics. So we've got a quadratic here, and our goal by factorizing is to turn it into the set of double brackets like we were just looking at when we were expanding. So expanding is the opposite of factorizing. So expanding takes a set of brackets and turns it into this. Factorizing is taking this and turning it into brackets. So they're inverse operations. Okay, so here we've got a quadratic that says x squared plus 3x plus 2. So when it comes to quadratics, when we're factorizing, our goal is to find numbers that multiply to this and add to this. Okay, so we're looking for a pair of numbers that multiply together to give us our last number, but add together to give us this. So let's start by listing all of the factors. So the numbers that multiply together to give us this. Okay, so what numbers multiply together to give us 2? We've got 1 and 2. And I think that's it. So do 1 and 2. If we take those, do they add together to give us 3? They do. Awesome. So these are our numbers. So our brackets would look like x plus 1 and x plus 2. Cool. So I need to find a set of numbers that multiply together to give us 24 and add together to give us 14. So we need to start by listing the different numbers, the pairs of numbers that multiply together to give us 24. Okay, so we've got 1 and 12. We've got 1 and 24, I mean. We've got 4 and 6. We've got 3 and 8. And 2 and 12. Okay, so they're all the different pairs of numbers that multiply together to give us 24. But which one of them adds together to give us 14? So 1 plus 24 gives us 25, so it can't be that one. 4 and 6 gives us 10, so it can't be that one. 3 plus 8 gives us 11, so it can't be that one. But 2 and 12, bingo. There's our numbers, baby. So our answer is going to be x plus 2 and x plus 12. We've just factorized. Okay, now let's do another one. So we're trying to find a pair of numbers that multiply together to give us 44 and add together to give us 15. Okay, so we're going to start by listing the pairs of numbers that multiply together to give us 44. So we could have 1 and 44. 2 times 22, 4 times 11, and I can't think of any more. There's probably more. We'll try these ones. We'll see if any of these work. Okay, so 1 plus 44 gives us 45, so it can't be that one. 2 and 22 gives us 24, so it can't be that one. 4 and 11 gives us 15, so it's this one. So we've got x plus 4, x plus 11. Now it doesn't actually matter which order you write your brackets in. You could write it as x plus 11, x plus 4. It really doesn't matter. All right, now we've got a slightly harder question, and it's harder because this here has become a negative. Okay, so the ones we were doing before, because it had 2 positives, we knew that both of our numbers in our brackets ended up having to be positive. But here it's a little bit different. Our final number is negative. So we're going to solve it like we did before and then think about what this negative does. So first, let's start off by listing our factors. Our factors of 10. So what numbers multiply together to give us 10? We've got 1 and 10. Or 2 and 5. So we're going to have to make one of our numbers negative, okay, in order to get negative 10, because a negative times a positive gives you a negative answer. So it's either going to be negative 1 times 10 or negative 10 times 1, okay? So it's either going to be that or that, or negative 2 times positive 5, or positive 2 and negative 5. Okay, so it gets a little bit more complicated. So now we've actually got 4 sets of possible answers to test. So negative 1 plus 10 gives us 9, so it's not that one. Right. 1 minus 10, not that one. Negative 2 plus 5 gives us positive 3, so it's this one. So our answer is x minus 2, x plus 5. Okay, let's do another one of those. Okay, here we've got a slightly harder question, because I've got 2 negatives happening here. So I need a set of numbers that multiply together to give me my last number here. So I'm looking for numbers that multiply together to give us 12. And then one of those numbers has to be negative, because a negative times a positive gives us a negative answer. Don't worry about this for now. We're just focusing on this 12. Okay? So what numbers multiply together to give us 12? We've got 1 and 12. We've got 2 and 6. Or we've got 3 and 4. Okay, so it's going to be one of these, but because it's negative, one of the numbers in the set has to be negative. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this, each of these pairs. Okay, and then I'm going to try making the first number negative, and then I'm going to try making the second number negative. Okay, and we'll see which of these, when we add them together, give us negative x. Now, if you ever see a negative x, what number am I not bothering to write here? There's a secret 1 in there. So this is negative 1x. So I'm looking for a number, a set of numbers that add together to give me negative 1. All right, so minus 1 plus 12 gives me positive 11. It's not that one. Positive 1 minus 12 gives me negative 11. It's not that one. Minus 2 plus 6 would give me positive 4, so it's not that. Positive 2 minus 6 would give me minus 4, so it's not that one either. Minus 3 plus 4 would give me positive 1, so it's not that. But positive 3 minus 4 gives me negative 1, so it's this one here. So in my brackets I'd have x plus 3, x minus 4. Now let's do this question. So it says x squared minus 17x plus 30. Okay, so this one's different to the previous ones we've done because our last number is positive, but our middle number is negative. Okay, so first let's just focus on, we're looking for a set of numbers that multiply together to give us 30. So let's give it a try. We've got 1 and 30. We could have 2 and 15. We could have 5 and 6. What else? 3 and 10. I think that's it. Okay, so now I'm looking for a set of numbers that add together to give us negative 17. Now, because our final number was positive, the numbers we multiplied together gave us a positive number in the end. But when I added them together, I got a negative. So that means that I must have 2 negatives that cancel each other out to get me a positive number here. But I've got 2 negatives, which is why I've got such a crazy number happening here. I've got a minus 17. So I need a set of numbers where both of them are negative, because 2 negatives cancel out, but I still get a negative here. So let's give it a try. Minus 1 minus 30 would be negative 31, so it's not that one. Minus 2 minus 15 gives me negative 17, so it's this one. So in my brackets I'd write x minus 2, x minus 15.